I woke up one day and I realized that the plan that I had for myself was never going to happen. And I got so sad. For weeks, I would drive down the interstate in Birmingham in my truck, and I would think, if I just drove this thing into a telephone pole, would anybody care? I had a next door neighbor that had invited me to church kind of over and over. So I decided to go and try this church thing. I pulled into the parking lot of this high school, and my hands were sweating, and I was nervous. But I pulled into the parking lot, and there were people waving and smiling, and that was kind of a neat thing and a little disarming. And I was already late. I was one of the last people in. In fact, I don't think there was anybody behind me that day, and I think a lot of it was because I was sitting out in the parking lot trying to talk myself into walking in the building. That day, I'll never forget, he told everybody all heads bowed and all eyes closed, and my hands were sweating and my heart was just like beating out of my chest, and I didn't even know, I didn't even own a Bible, and so I was thinking, man, I don't know that I even know what I'm saying yes to, other than I'm tired of trying to live this life where I always have to perform, and I can't measure up anymore, and I don't even want to try to earn this anymore. And he started talking about this faith that was all about what Christ had done and nothing about what you could do, and I thought, man, that just really sounds like something I could use today. And so I said yes, and in that auditorium, in a high school auditorium with blue jeans and electric guitars, I committed my life to Christ. The guy that walked in there wasn't the guy that walked out of that high school. I knew that day I was going to spend the rest of my life telling people about this Jesus that I just met. Fast forward the tape, my wife and I had the honor of pastoring an ARC church's campus. One day they showed a video at our campus of Billy Hornsby, and it was one of the last messages, I think maybe even the last message that he shared. And he was sitting in a chair, and he had his Bible there, and he opened it up, and he shared some scripture, and he said, "I'm not afraid of dying." He said, because when I die, there's this whole group of young guys that are coming up behind me, and a roar is going to run through hell when these guys get turned loose. And my wife she reached over and she grabbed my arm and she said, "I think he's talking to you." Today, I am the lead pastor of Turning Point Church in Lexington, Kentucky. And we planted with the ARC in early of 2012. And it's been the greatest thing that I've ever had an opportunity to be a part of, and it's my favorite church in the world. The miracle of this is this isn't just my story. This is our story. Every single Sunday, there are people showing up at Turning Point Church that are where I used to be. People showing up at ARC churches. People showing up in churches all over America that are looking for this in their life. And every single Sunday, you can look on your left or on your right, or maybe in the seat that you're sitting in, and know that there's a relationship that needs to be mended. There's a marriage that needs to be fixed. There is a wrong thing that needs to be made right. And the amazing thing about being a part of this is we get to do it together. And if we'll recognize, if we'll understand that this isn't just my story, it's our story, and if we'll do this together, we can share with the world His story.